Alright, so let me show you something cool about me fixing my car real quick, the Jeep Wrangler. So I'm trying to fix the fuel injectors. I have a cylinder 6 fuel injector, which is going to be somewhere back here. But this is the top of the engine here that would normally be sitting like right over here, like this, on the engine. I took that off. And underneath, we got the top of the engine here. And so this line here that runs along here is actually the fuel line. The fuel comes into the engine, and then it goes into here, and then this bar runs across here, and then each one of these little things down here, let me see if I can show this here. So this little thing here, down here, these all 6 right here are all fuel injectors, and they run all the way down the line here. So this fuel line here is what connects all these, and so I've got to take out this whole bar section to replace one of these little things here, and then I got to put it all back together, and that should be the fix that needs to be done to fix the Jeep. So next I got to disconnect all of these, and then I got to release the pressure on the fuel, which is going to be, it's not going to be hard, I don't think, but it's going to be fun because I have a full tank of gas, so I don't know how that's going to go over, but it should be fine. Just a little tool that releases the pressure. And then I got to disconnect these little plugs, I think, and then I got to get these 6 bolts I got to take out here, and then once that's done, I got to pry this bar up from here to lift out the whole fuel injector system. So I'm basically fixing my whole fuel line up here, at least on the engine. So yeah, that's about it. Alright, check this out. So earlier I showed you all the stuff that I needed to take apart, and now it's all apart. So the fuel line is now disconnected. And there's this little special tool here that you got to push up to actually disconnect it. And then all of the actual, so these are the fuel injectors down here. These all, their little interfaces are disconnected. I think I got to take out these little couplers now to get it free. And then I got to get a pry bar, like a crowbar or something. And I got to pry up on each one of these little metal pieces here to lift out this bar here from the whole engine. And when I do that, all these fuel injectors here, they're on O-rings, and they're supposed to pop out the engine, which is not going to be that easy. So close, but not done. Hey, good morning. So I wanted to show a little bit of progress. Since not everyone takes apart the engine, I got the fuel injectors out. Don't mind the dirty Jeep, it's filled with parts and grease now. That's gonna need the next cleaning, but this piece here, I'm gonna flip this over. You know, I'm not gonna flip it over. In the engine, this would be flipped upside down, and then these little pieces on here, which are the fuel injectors, these things here, these would be sitting in the engine. So this would be flipped upside down, but the little, this is the gas tube here. This whole rail had gas in it, so I don't want it to leak out in my car, so I have this covered with the blue paper towel. But if you can look at this, so up here would be cylinder 1, and then you got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 over here. The 6th cylinder is the one that's bad. So if you look, I don't know if I'll be able to show this well, but if we look closely at this, you see how come back. You see how this is kind of popped up here to the bottom here, and you have this top piece here. So we can look at that on like this one here. Let's get this in focus here. That one's got it, but the difference is if we look at cylinder 6, cylinder 6 doesn't have that. Cylinder 6 is jacked up. So this thing's got to come off of there. We got to put a new one on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up some of this corrosive stuff on here. Try to clean these up, get this looking a little bit newer. Because these things are like $100 basically a pop. And so I don't want to necessarily, replace all of them sooner than later. So we'll see if I can refurbish them a little bit. But number 6 has definitely got to go because that one's definitely not firing anymore. And we'll go from there.